welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
All stages of young people. And like I said, President Brian Mundubile and Vice President Makebi Zulu today, they were very clear. They have plans for us in the agricultural sector. How do we get to benefit from that? We begin to create cooperatives now. We begin to create, if you're hesitant of cooperatives, my request as your national youth chairperson, let's begin to form WhatsApp groups. Okay, because it's okay, it's easier for all of us. What we can do is in your localities, begin to identify like-minded youths. So all the youths that know that, okay, in cotton farming, okay, cotton farming, create a WhatsApp group, begin to talk to each other about cotton and all those things. We shouldn't always be having WhatsApp groups where we're talking about sexual positions and relationship challenges. And let's begin to have conversations that truly can bring food on the table, because our basic needs are to eat, to sleep well, that's shelter, to dress well, that's clothing, right? To find health, meaning be able to afford medical facilities. And then the fifth one would be that, can I invest for a better tomorrow? These are the needs that we truly have. And if you see on the 5 basic needs, I haven't mentioned anything about how to keep a man or how to keep a woman. Because what is basically important is that you must eat, you must sleep in a comfortable place, you must be able to dress yourself, you must be able to invest for a better tomorrow. And as a national youth chairperson, this is my vision for all youths. For those who are willing to work hard, because we have to admit, some of our youths are very lazy. Like the way my eyes are sick, someone would say, social media, and shan. No, we work through all situations. We work through all circumstances. There must be a price you pay towards the actualization of that which you're envisioning. And what I'm envisioning is a youth league or a youth participation at national level that truly transforms. When the president is saying they want to give us back ability to mine, to use the mines, when he's promising, President Brian Mundubile is promised that he will not repeat what happened at Kikonge in Mufumbwe there, where our brothers were slaughtered. Okay, the information that I remember hearing, first-hand information from Mufumbo was like, meaning they've killed them like rats. When people use that statement, it means there's a lot of people that have been killed. And these were killed when they were just pursuing, being able to generate or to create income for themselves from a natural resource that God has given us as Zambians. The president is saying, President Brian Mundubile says he wants us, the youths, to benefit from that. Instead of me as a national youth league, network, network keeps coming and going. So instead of me as a national youth chairperson, having just decided saying for me, I don't want to be that kind of a national leader. The president has already said that. Network. So the agenda is more youth in farming. The agenda is more youth in other agricultural sectors. The agenda is more youth in mining. The agenda is more youth to be in manufacturing and all other kinds. Network. So the agenda is a better Zambia for every youth, not just for me. Okay? That's the agenda that I actually pursue as an individual. And how do we achieve that? We have to be in groups, and those groups must be created right now. So you must create WhatsApp groups, not to discuss politics, not to discuss, because you already have those groups, not to discuss about marriage and whatever. No, this time around, you're forming WhatsApp groups as like-minded youths who are going to say, okay, as we are winning the 2026 election, we who love farming, this is our direction. I'll give you an example. If you see across Zambia, bananas are growing almost everywhere. And what we need is to be able to identify sectors and sections within our country where bananas can do exceptionally well. And we do have to, then we plant like 10,000 trees or whatever. I don't know if they're called trees, those banana things. If you can plant 10,000 of them or 20,000 of them and give ourselves a target to say in 3 years time, this is what will be benefiting from this banana plantation. And those banana things, they come with a lot of other products that can come from it. And we say we're not only going to focus on the bananas that we're getting from there. I'll tell you this. There's a lot of potassium in these bananas. How can we actualize the usage of that potassium in our lives? Not only for us as human beings, but also maybe as cosmetics, whatever it is. Let's begin to diversify our brain capacity, because we are always crying that there's no employment, and yet maybe we have not yet just explored the possibilities that we actually have at hand or on hand. But at the same time, it's about the resources to fund these ventures. Because for you to have, 20,000 banana suckers, it must be a lot of money. And no one person can be given. But if you're a group and you are managed professionally and by trained individuals to create systems whereby nobody's going to steal from another person, and you have a target to say, let's have this banana plantation and we'll be able to get back to it in 3 years time and be able to maximize the benefits from it. Okay, I'll give you another example. Kwa haeko kwabulozi lwautokuti rice aihuli hande. Rice is not doing very well in Barotse land, and the Mungu rice is not as plentiful as it should be. Okay, currently what is the most plentiful rice on the market? It would be, I don't know if the word plentiful is even a word, but anyway, I'm using it. You hear about Nakonde rice, but it's not really Nakonde rice. This is rice coming from the other side, from Tanzania. So we need to begin to say, okay, kwa haiko kwa bulozi, you our new mbuyas, that's the Bembas telling the Lozi, the new mbuyas, you know more about rice, you know how to grow it. Come over here in Kawambwa, come over here in Kaputa, come over here in Chama, let's partner, let's get these huge lands, let's be able to invest rice growing, and let's produce our own rice and have adequate for within use and export. That's how we grow the economy. That's how when I see people who are tribalists, I'm wondering, are you using your brain or not? Because we need each other for us to survive. Ubuntu, that's who we are as Africans. I am because you are, and because I am. Now, do I want money personally for myself as Namakau? Of course I want money for me as Namakau. I need to sustain myself equally. As you're aware, in the 5 years we've been fighting this political space, it meant that we couldn't achieve much. We couldn't be given jobs. We couldn't find huge business opportunities. We've been stunted, right? Of course I want opportunities, but you know what's on my mind is that I do better when I rise with others rising with me. Not for me to get a farm or to get a mine and I keep quiet whilst the rest of the youth in Zambia are struggling. Leadership is realize that there's enough for all of us to get there. Like I said, I'm not an economist. I don't believe in scarcity. I come from a school of thought where it says when God creates human beings, he already has placed a place for them. Okay, for them to excel and become the best version of themselves. Now, the question I have is, are you ready to work hard towards it? Our first step, form these WhatsApp groups. If you're musicians, you're struggling musicians, you want to do recordings and you want studio time, make WhatsApp groups. Let's discuss as WhatsApp groups. I say, guys, what do we need in a studio to do better music, to do better what? Discuss that. So if one day there's money, we create a studio in every locality that probably can assist artists to get there at a very subsidized low price, so that can allow us to even identify true talent, because there's some talents out there that will never be identified or actualized because they don't have the money. So if we form these groups, WhatsApp groups, and we are talking like this, it helps. Also, we won't forget you when you have these WhatsApp groups, because you see, if you don't form these WhatsApp groups now, sorry, network. So why do I want you to form WhatsApp groups now? Because when you are talking now, when you know each other now, when we win, after we win, it's easy for us to come back to you yourselves and say, okay, this group, what are you planning? What do you need? This is your vision. This is your dimension. This is your area of participation in the national economy that you want to pursue. And then we are not able to forget you, because a lot of people cry about being forgotten. But you're forgotten because you are individuals spread out in so many places that it's difficult to put you together. And what happens is, after we win, some of these UPND you see, they'll try to sneak their way back into participating. Not that we would stop them from participating, but I believe for now our focus should be, because them that quenulaling, meaning they're very happy with how things are. But for us, the youths who are saying, no, 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 we can do better. We need to get the first attention in terms of transforming our economic lives. And I want you youths also to sit down and begin to use brain power. So it's okay, the Mafinga Road from Isoka is pretty bad. It's gravel. Okay, and what we need is tar, and what are the challenges with the tar, and how they make the roads. How do we now make a road which is with localized material, which can be strong and durable, but can be cheaper? Let's begin to explore our brains. So maybe all those engineering students make WhatsApp groups as well. Discuss how can we improve on these things. And like I always remind, system reset is not just the system, also our brains. Let's reset our brains to knowing that we must work together as Zambians for us to achieve greatness. We can't be working in isolation or as the individuals and expect that the nation will transform. Look, if on your own you can make 2,000 kwacha, but if working with others can make you make 50,000 kwacha, don't think shallowly to say, nabene wakapangema 50 kwacha, 30. It means you will be able to make an extra 48,000 kwacha. So have a mind of success and not a mind of drawing yourself back. Okay, this is how I want us to begin to think as youths. That is my role and contribution as I follow the presidential campaign across the country. What I'm looking at is I'm trying to envision how each area and province is, so I can better lobby from this president, say, Mr. President, sir, Mr. Vice President, sir, this is what your children in Pulungu need. They need a bot. They need this. They need that for them to be able to transform their lives. So the cooperative in Pulungu is better suited when we actually provide it. Like they even have a WhatsApp group as boaters or as fishermen and women or as finished products producers. They already have a WhatsApp group and they've already drafted a business plan, and what they need is so much. This is how we need to begin to think as youths, not only to think about zikabwela ndrama tuli 24 isobali 5 it is adiapo kapenda batipasa 100,000 till 24 batipasa 100 pin. That is a man that like isobali top isobali 5 tizadia ndrama is it zacho sapo as 50,000. Then if 50 pin dia meant then wow that to check 50 pin then 50 pin tizagabana bonse 24. Reset your brain as a youth. Reset your brain. Also my youth, kumangala kunkala che lazy tajaila sometimes kunkala che tidanda ola uchoma kuchokseni kupaka usiku tikumamoba kuseno amba kudala kumamoba. System reset. I've told you my eyes are not the way they are. My eyes are unwell. But I'm still moving in the campaign trail. I've been having a bad flu. I've been moving in the campaign trail because every time I'm out there at the rallies, I'm just looking at the young people's faces. I'm looking at the young people's environment, and I'm picking out information on how we can best come back after winning to transform their lives. I'm also looking at the alcoholic levels. There are some places where I felt like, here the young people are overly drunk. Oh, here the young people are less drunk. So this experience across the country is not for nothing. It's because we want, when we win, after we win, to present your challenges as our youths and say, Mr. President, our young people in Mufumbwe, there is a mine nearby called Kikonge, and what we believe, well, there's virgin mining land there, and this is how we want to be helped. Because they have a group, a WhatsApp group there. They have maybe 600 WhatsApp group members in Kikonge there, and they want to do mining. So we want to form cooperatives for them and have adequate funding. I always laugh when people are celebrating the 40 million kwacha CDF per constituency. And I'm like, do you even understand that 40 million is very little in these constituencies to actually make an impact? But the UPND made you celebrate so much because they needed you to believe 40 million was a lot of money so that you can hate those who have it. But 40 million is not a lot of money. It's very little money. That's why the PF was giving 1.6 million for CDF, and then central government was providing the many things that the CDF today under UPND wants to satisfy in that 40 million. If you came to Miss, if you knew Mrs. Compound before 2020, before 2016, or before 2015, or before 2011, and the Mrs. you have today, you admit that there's a huge difference. But that was 1.6 million CDF, right? So meaning it went beyond that. That's why don't be cheated with people coming and throwing figures and making you, reducing your brain capacity so that you can look at 40 million as a lot of money. What is 40 million in a constituency like Shawama constituency, for instance? Just Shawama Ward 2, the number of voters towards is about 41,000 or so, and that's just the voters. So imagine what is the population of just Ward 2? It could be well over 200,000. So what is the population of the entire constituency? Maybe the entire constituency, you're talking about maybe 600,000 people or 700,000 people. And then you're taking 40 million there. Is that a lot of money? No. But the UPND damned you as youth to believe less and see high value in very little. To celebrate non-entities on things that signify nothing. They made them so big. They made you celebrate coming of ambulances. They made you celebrate coming in of CDF vehicles. They made you celebrate coming of police vehicles. But yet when you sit down and scrutinize these vehicles, this one vehicle per constituency, what impact does it truly make in transforming our lives? And number two, remember, all those are liabilities that will need money to be taken care of. And we know that government in its current state does not produce money. So when the government is even trying to overhire or whatever, you're asking yourself, where's the money coming from to do that? That's why Palas Nama Tulima reserves are meant to be no one. Why do I say Nama? Because there's no way for me personally to verify it. If there was a way that I can verify that definitely there is money sitting and it's 6.5 billion, I'll be like, okay, good. But why are you keeping this money when we are starving and suffering in Zambia? I'll ask that question. So, as your national youth leader, I want to round up because I don't want it to be too long. Number one, I've said, if you pay attention to who I am, I'm different with my outfits and my hairstyles and everything about me. And the reason is that I want to identify with every type of youth that we have in Zambia. I don't want you to see me only in suits and looking what, and then you start thinking you have to be like me for you to change your life. No, you change your life just the way you are. If what you like is looking like what do some people call you, a junkie, we will need to change your life in that state. If what you like is to look like a churchy girl, we'll move you and transform your life in that state. If what you like is putting on your short dresses and looking sexy and hot, we will come and help you in that state. Because in the end, what we need is economic development in our country. And it only happens when individuals begin to economically transform their lives, and collectively we create a whirlwind effect and grow the economy. So there's no way I, as youth leader, should pursue getting shares in a mine and allow all my other youths to wallow in poverty. That is effort equals to zero. Because as a leader, my priority should not only be what benefits me and myself and my children. My priority should be, how can I better lives beyond myself? Some of us are satisfied when we see something that says small grows big. When we said fighting for Alebwele Lapo, that time, of course, we were PF and we believed Issa will come back. But the journey to this point, where NRPUP is standing for presidency and we still have RP as a partner in there, and we've come this far. I see people coming to join us. And I'm like, the pain we suffered to keep this going. And some people are just suddenly coming back to join. But we are not going to be bitter because we are gatekeepers. We are gatekeepers. And as a gatekeeper kind of person, my value is not only for me alone. My value is to transform your lives. So my youth, after what our president said, that they want to empower us in mining, empower us in agriculture, empower us in manufacturing, and I can even dare to add that they'll definitely want to empower our music industry, our film industry, to transform these areas. But you need to form these WhatsApp groups. If you want, call them BMZ8. BMZ8 mining Chilabombwe. Okay? BMZ mining in Rufonsa. BMZ mining in whichever area you're found in. Create these WhatsApp groups and you start discussing mindset change, resetting our brains. If we don't learn to work together as Zambians, if we don't learn to come together as Zambians, we will not help ourselves. If we don't learn to hold hands, and you from Barotseland and you from Kuliba Mwatoko, let's come together and let's say, how do we grow our rice production in this nation? These are the thoughts. Okay, you then Barotseland, you have cashew nuts. And we are some of the youth here in Luapula or in Mochinga or in Southern, we are not doing much. Can we come there and partner and create cashew nut farms? And we calculate that maybe to take 3 years or 4 years for the trees to mature and produce fruit. And then this is the industry we're going to pursue. This is how we need to begin to think. But we need these WhatsApp groups to be formulated so that when we win, after we win, not tukalembo kumifwaya, not mukambe kuchingiwa, because bakami tulela baba mbaka kena maten. Ona bomo mubona nge babina bina kuti ba UPND. Bana kibona baka kakuta ape kukena mwa NRPUP ni kubula kuti now they are supporting the government shoni ko. So how do we safeguard you? We make sure we create these WhatsApp groups now. If you're bricklayers in your locality, form a bricklayers WhatsApp group. If you're welders, form a welders WhatsApp group. If you're salonists, exactly, make that WhatsApp group. Begin to discuss. So by the time after we win, we don't have time of mobilizing and grouping people. You already established groups. So no, we are here in Kaputa. We need bricklayers. We have a bricklayers WhatsApp group. We come and throw the information there. Not mule landa da onsha ishibe, awensha umfile ninska utwa. Gafuko bibambu jilene, no. If you have these WhatsApp groups, information is shared. That's why God has improved society so that we can have WhatsApp groups and Facebook, is to help us to be able to better communicate without having the physical barrier. Okay? That's the type of youth leader I want to be. That's why I'm able to come here with my sick eyes. I'm able to come here just looking natural and normal, because it's not about dressing up, putting on suits, putting on weaves and whatever for you to contribute positively and transform this nation. It's about you bringing your heart, your spirit, your determination to work hard and to say, here I am, I'm ready to hold hands and work with other youths who are like-minded in agriculture, like-minded in mining, like-minded in production or in tailoring and in designing. We want to change things in this nation. We want to say, let's grow our own cotton, like the president was talking about. You grow your own cotton. Then that cotton, you process it into material. That is the vision of cowboy textiles, right? The Mulungushi textiles. That's the vision. You have the cotton grown, then you bring that cotton at the Mulungushi textiles there, and you create fabrics. That's the vision. If you don't know, Zambia used to have amazing suits which were being sold across the world. Very expensive suits from Zambia. This is the potential we have in us. This is the greatness we have in us. But they make us to be busy hating each other across tribes, hating each other across political lines, and failing to recognize that our duty is not to hit each other, to beat each other, but our duty is to say, how can we bring our brains together and transform not only our personal lives, individual lives, but a collective change in our nation. So that only batabawulesi ababula kuingila babula mana wasinangana batafela guina fela konje kuzwa kusasana konje kusiba yinzi fela. Those are the ones who remain. But if you have the heart to work, you do it. And somebody said, but how do we know that? Well, the Patriotic Front, from where these two, president and running mate, came from, you were angry, some of you educated, because you felt like there was too much empowerment in transforming of lives of those who are not educated. So if you're saying there's no money, well, there's had money that was able to be flooded on the market. Okay? And when you say a word in Lozing in that group, you have to interpret to Bemba. I do try to interpret what I say. That's why if you pay attention when I say something, I'll either say it in English again or I'll say it in Bemba again. We're trying to do that, to communicate. Owen, thank you. So this is the information I wanted to send out there. As a National Youth Leaguer, my job after winning this election, and we are winning, I saw somewhere that some prophet that actually hold in high esteem has prophesied that no, actually the UPND will still win by 4-point-something million. And I said, I don't know about that prophet. I will not denounce his prophecy or reduce his prophecy, but I'll speak about what God told me. God told me in 2021 that PF would win the elections and that UPND would win, but that I should join the PF and that would lose the election for presidency. But in 2026, the UPND will be booted out. That's what I'm running with. And I've moved through Eastern Province. I've moved through Mchinga. I've moved through Northern. I've moved through Lwapula. And now we are moving in Lusaka. 5 provinces. I can guarantee you that in these 5 provinces, it's very clear that 80% of the people have shifted their pelampi. Yes, the UPND did 20% that day. Because UPND should be asking yourself, how is it possible that you're claiming, or this prophet is prophesying that you're going to win by 4.8 million or whatever, and yet when you move around, people are not even excited to put on your ruling party regalia. Market regalia. You force everybody to have it and you make them wear it. When you come after 2 hours, how many people are still wearing that regalia? These are things you need to ask yourself. I've moved through 5 provinces. Kafua was my litmus test because in 2021, I remember going to Kafua during the elections, just like this period. Allah, God, if my Bali will fix it, the whole Kafua when I went there. But today, I can assure you that I saw in Kafua that Bali is gone. Bali is gone. They don't want to vote for him. So we are winning this election. Tell your neighbor, tell your friends that we are winning this election. And our national youth leader says she wants to run with the vision of President Brian Mondibile and his Vice President, President Makebi Zulu, Vice President Makebi Zulu, that she wants to run with it. And she's saying, let's start now creating WhatsApp groups of us who are like-minded in the fields we operate in, so that together, after winning, we don't start looking for who to empower. You already know. We'll create a national database emanating from your own databases. So meaning it's not us to create a Kaputa database. Kaputa creates its own database. So here in Kaputa, the ones who are interested in farming, on growing rice or whatever it is, are these. The ones who are interested, it's what we can even say, okay, can you communicate to the WhatsApp group for the rice growers in Wapula and in, what you call it? It's Wapula basically. I don't know. Probably Chama is Eastern. And Eastern Province, and we link you to the rice growers in Western Province. So you begin to communicate, and sooner or later we see the losses shifting that side to Kawambwa and beginning to grow the rice. And then within 6, 7 months, 8 months, we have bumper harvest of rice coming into Lusaka, coming into other districts, and we stop relying on this Nakonde rice, and we begin to be the ones to export our rice. I mean, kwa kutisa simbuya malozi mwe kwa kama Kawambwa kwa mutisa simbuya mupepe kwa tentubana mwe babemba. I will say it in Bemba. Na mwine mwai mama afuma kubu bembo ko mwai ko kuma Western Province mwa mkukosele shechi mbuya mwafira ko tubana kulia wakosele shechi mbuya. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say, so I don't say too much. We must learn to work hard. We must learn to be steadfast. We must learn to push for our dreams. We must learn to work hard. Look, I'm not feeling or look at my eyes, but I'm here exposing them, because what I wanted to say today is that let's begin to form these WhatsApp groups. Let's begin to see how we can create independent databases in each and every province, and then reduce it to districts, reduce it to constituencies, reduce it all the way down to the wards. Let's have these WhatsApp groups of similar-minded people, so that after winning, not to come back with fire. So it will be easy to say, okay, can you tabulate in Western Province how many people have shown interest in rice growing? Okay, in Luapula, how many have shown interest in rice growing? And this, can you use using computers? We make this data, and we have the whole list. Okay, fine. We've discovered that we have 276,000 youths who are interested in rice growing. How much arable land for rice growing do we have? Okay, how much do we need funding for this? Let's go and look for the funding. Or maybe let's connect to the youth who are in mining. The youth who are in mining have been offered these people, aggregators, to help them to ensure that their business grows. And then it's okay, friend, Mama aggregator, can you give us, we are looking for 20 million kwacha for the rice growers, which will invest in the rice. And after we sell, probably we'll make about 60 million kwacha. So they'll have about 20 million to reinvest back in the business, 10 million to save for future in case of anything. Then they have this 30 million. They can say, okay, do we add on to the investment of 20 million and share the other dividends? They can make those decisions and begin to grow. This is the way a youth league should be thinking. South Africans have been talking about people fixing their country. That's what I want to do. I want to participate in fixing my country. And I can't be thinking about just benefiting alone. I must know that this economy benefits me better when I help you grow your personal economy. Then I grow my personal economy. Then together we are growing the Zambian economy. It's a teamwork. Vayamba because shupa. But this is what I wanted to say. Begin to form those WhatsApp groups. Let's run with the vision of our president, Brian Mondibile. He has already said it. He wants to ensure us, the youths, we are properly empowered. We can't be empowered if we are scattered. And we can't start planning after we win. We start now. System resetting. To remember, takulifia kunyunyana, takulifia kulila banowe maskupa mutwe. No! Learn to be fair in your brain. Learn to have a spirit of Ubuntu. I am because you are, and you are because I am. Not feel to learn politics whereby others are getting mines, others have gotten nothing. Then they come and give you my 50 quarter, and say amen kwa kumba nata wa mundu yabakata kwa high. Ni na mane mwananu hamwamata. Noja abantu balepo kama mine ilo ilimo bale mpela ma 50 quarter dawe ko meni ba dalo bala isa kununa imumwai mama mkumama 50 kwacha. Fisho wala shana 50 quarter ugaza kama ni 50 quarter kuna. Salapukeni. This is what I'm telling you is the better future. Don't think of instant gratification or instant transformation. It's either you're stealing or you're faking it for that to happen. But if you're genuine, if you're nishta, nishta. Atumka fiale ko tubana. Kukosele chimbuya balozina mabemba kabili. Chikose chimbuya chala kosa shani katatule fiala utubana. For those who are single and looking and searching, of course, kafialeni. It will be good for us because we really have to unite. We have to stop seeing each other as them and us. We have to stop the tribal politics because transformation and growth of this economy will need us to use the competitive advantage of each province against each other and together with each other. Then we grow and transform our economy. That's how it works. There's no other shortcut. Okay, there's no other way. There's no other way. I hope I've said the right number. If you walanda tilelo na upiyama ilo wabuka na ubarichi, fiabu fi. Kajeno ulo wala ona mashelling. Kabo so ki wo mane kimi na ba bota ikuna hau muzwile kai. Mwaiba kuisa. Business must be grown. You must have a track record of how you've risen. You must have steps that you have taken to get there. So that you know how to sustain yourself there. Not have a boom boom, from 0 to 100. I was doing to fitation and file. You will not manage to sustain yourself. You come down. You fall down. And I was happy with the interview for President Brian Mundibili and Vice President Makebi Zulu because you could see these people who are telling you, not if you lot, or I'll fix it. I'll bring down the bag of minimum to 50. Go. Kwalema promises. Fiabu fee. I'll make airports, whatever. Fiabu fee. Fiabu fee. Hello, lucky na yo. So our youth, now nani mulefwa ni Mundibili na Makebi Tefio. And they have a vision for us as young people. Vote for them on NRPUP. And I, as a National Youth Chairperson, I'm telling you, imoba kumbala uko barubeni kandawile kumbala uko. We have to see what can we maximize there in Mbala to change your lives there in Mbala. This is what we need to start thinking of and form the WhatsApp groups there in Mbala of saying for my welders, for my fishermen, for my shani, mwapanga filefine mtantiko ama WhatsApp groups. You begin to discuss on how you change your lives. Mauna, you start discussing how you change your lives. So let's just focus on that. Not too much, but Alex, don't focus too much on Kosole Chimbuya. Let's focus on Kosole Sama pockets, yes. So let's grow the economies of our pockets, so that we grow the economy of Zambia. So that when we have reserves, those reserves are definitely there for us, for future use, because the present will be catered for. Like the president was saying, aggregators will be there to help us manage the minerals, the emeralds, so that we can say, okay, imamama welders, amashani, your artisans, create jewelry from these emeralds. Let's not just be sending them out there as blocks or whatever, as rocks. Let's finish them up, design to my beautiful jewelry, and then we export the finished product. That's how you grow the economy. I should go and rest. Yeah. No, Naini Chito. Telling you how my president is going to satisfy what he has promised. That's my job. because he may not have time to come and break it down the way I'm breaking it down, to say, start forming your WhatsApp groups now. Call them BMZ8 farming Chinsali, or BMZ8 farming Kaputa, Shanugo. Call them those Ayama WhatsApp groups. Let's create the databases. So that when, after we win, not to come back me fire, mama, not to come back me fire. We just start continuing with the journey. Let's be practical. Now I'm quite a different type of national chairperson. Wasambilila. Yaitutile. Licholo cholo mboni ya siloko. Mwana wapo enso. Wasambilila. Akasabula. Even that as say, no, you look like a man. So they match me for like a mini. Match one actually maume. Some women are like, oh, no, don't dress like that. No, come off the stage or put on thing. And no, to my youth if way. My youth best value but diverse. I follow my mini, I follow Italy, I follow to be fiance. We have to make sure our youth identify with who we are. Because when we begin to work, we'll work with every youth. We'll work with all of them. Mbonje, what do you mean I don't know what I'm talking about? What do you mean? Just because your youth leaders have failed to achieve that, now you think we can't achieve it. And the reason why we have failed to achieve it is that most of them have been inward looking. Inward looking. I'll tell you, I am a very determined human being. If you knew what I've gone through to stick to my declaration that my political outfit will be the one to come back into power, what I've gone through, you would not believe it. How I sustained to this point, the battles I've had to fight, and that I continue to fight. But what I believe in, when God has dropped an intention in you and He's dropped the vision in you, if you pursue it and don't disengage because fiakosa, you achieve it. You achieve it. So what I'm telling you, when the President Brand Mundibile tells us that he's going to have aggregators to help us with the mining so that we can do better, I come and tell that you should form WhatsApp groups as miners. So when that time comes, we can lobby as groups, not as individuals. Come on, we've managed banks before. So I know what I'm talking about. And I even know the bottlenecks that make us fail to do these things. Because they're always doubting Thomases like you. And that those people who want it to be easier and faster. Friend Damien, let's do system reset of our brains as well. There's no easy thing in life. There's nothing easy. Imanga mwati muna tule shingulu kechalo selling the political space and selling our President Brand Mundibile and Vice President Makebi Zulu. You think the British pay lumpy, it's easy. Do that thing, Sometimes you don't eat the whole day. You're hungry most of the time. You're still making that video very hungry. You only eat in the night. Because when you know where you want to end up, you pursue it through it all. So we know what we're talking about. These are things that are manageable. So when we have the names of people in particular fields, then we can begin to correct this. We must have data. I know a lot of people who haven't gone to who haven't been exposed, I guess, who have not been exposed, who always undermine the power of data. But data is what you need. So that you know, okay, we have about 1 million youths interested in mining. How many of them have we absorbed this far? You gauge yourself. Oh, we have 1 million youths who are interested in the film industry. Have we actually advanced the film industry to exporting levels? Have we not? How many of them are actively generating income through the film industry? You are growing the economy. You're growing the economy. My youth leader kwa chief for Zambia. And not only learned, but we are tough tested. Okay, we're tough tested. And we understand that each province has a competitive advantage that must work with other provinces. And as we crisscross with each other and as we work together, we grow the economy of Zambia. And we change all our lives. That's what we are looking for, all of us. Tefio. Yeah? I'm tired. I've said a lot. We will not engage in those that wish to distract us from what we are intending to do. Go and Peter Simponje, go and see the people who are showing up at our rallies and hear what they're saying about your beloved President HH. Go and hear for yourself. Go and hear. What I know is that he made my life difficult. Even though we were speaking, we spoke with so much caution because we knew anytime. I lived a life where I knew anytime I could be picked up. UPND cadres, I know they feel like they can come and attack me at any time and they'll be free. Nothing will happen to them. So I don't know what you are celebrating, but me and the many people who are saying, Pe Lampifie, we are done and dusted. And lastly, yes, I want to defend my president, Brian Mundubile. I saw some man, I don't know if it's Rupia Banda's son or something, saying, I know Mundubile. You see, we know a lot of people. Even I knew something about Boma KB, and I was saying, no, we should vote for Wolubinda because my KB has less experience to Wolubinda and all those things. But God doesn't work like that. God doesn't work like that. He qualifies the unqualified. And secondly, I can defend my President Brian Mundiwile and Vice President Makebi Zulu to say, these have even worked in government. Wow, your HH came with zero experience of governance. That's why probably he scored this negative 20. That's why I feel what. But this son, I don't know, son of Babanda, this Mr. Banda, he's so confident. No, he can't. I know that boy. That man, you say boy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Just because you knew him growing up doesn't, we like fulfilling things in the Bible that we don't need to fulfill when they say that a prophet is not respected in their own land. Jesus failed to perform miracles in his own place because they just couldn't. Familiarity breeds contempt. That's the problem. So because you know Namakau, you think you can't benefit from that which God has dropped in her. That's a mistake you're making. And a lot of people make mistakes. Some people who saw me when I was same level as they were and we spoke a certain way. Now I've moved on and I understand the bigger picture. Some of them find it very hard to move with me in that direction because they still remember that one they knew then, but that's wrong. God keeps growing each person. God keeps qualifying people and moving them up. Brendan Jovu, you saw me vis-a-vis in your hometown in Chilanga, that far bush where they threw us. Hey, you guys are, kudos to you guys. You guys are brave. You guys are strong. Because where they took our rally, it was like far deep there, inside there. I have even forgotten the name of the word because it's difficult. But you guys, Brenda Mulinshimbi, Dimwensimbi bakazi mwe, na wamuna huko. Mwezi mwalimba, gee, you stayed there until we came and we had the rally and we thank God. Tukavote fine pela mpifye President Brian Mundubile Morfest 2026. Ababambi okya kwena baleya. Sorry, but if you love your mweka, if you Zambians gave you a chance and then you failed. So alola kinayo. I don't know about that prophet and what he said, but as far as I know, God said that we are winning 2026 because my HH was just a one-term man. That's what I know. And I'll run with what I know. And I'll work hard for what I know. What happens afterwards? Kushila lesa. But us form the WhatsApp groups so that we work towards fulfilling our economic needs at individual levels and also at national levels and truly grow the economy of Zambia because the power truly lies in our arms. And if we put selfishness aside and learn to work together as a team, this is manageable and this is workable. And remember, it can never be easy. Like if you grow a banana plantation, you're talking about 3-4 years planning or 4-5 years planning. But if we hold on to it, We'll have banana plantations in every province, and we'll begin to eat our own sweet bananas and exporting them. And beyond that, bananas have other byproducts you can get from them. You can even create this in manure or something like that, and be able to organically fertilize your own crops and plants and all those things. So let's think, guys. My engineers, start thinking of how we can make a road that is cheaper, so that the roads in Zambia can be done with our own usual resources around us, and make them strong and durable to last the test of time. Kenayo, with my eyes which are still sick now, I put some eye drops and ointment and kushila le certificate pole. But in the meantime, pelampi kenayo. No more tribalism. We are one Zambia, one nation. Those who like tribalism, kubaleka febeka. We are one Zambia, one nation. Those who want violence, I'll tell you, me, I've decided. Just because now for if you are ready to wakantinye po, out wakantinye. At but avoid ready. Untinye. Awe ngakuma na twala umana fya poto afika hapa because dirty. So because for you are ready na imefeta bwana mkumeni fya. Not again. Never again. So are you PND Ichemeni? Mind your business, we mind our business, and let the best person win. Chap, let the one